what's going on here? So I figured since this channel isn't as focused on a particular topic as the other, I might as well do other reviews as well. Although I hesitate to even call this a review just because I personally don't know much about PC monitors and I've never been interested enough to really look deeply into it. With regards to monitors, I'm not as much of a maximizer as I am with other stuff. I just tend to look at a few reviews. I have certain criteria. You know, the image got to be nice and crisp, it's got to have good colors, response time has to be low, and yeah, higher refresh rate is a bonus. So this one here I got from GearBest, and I didn't have very high expectations at first. I didn't know the brand, I was just looking at the specs and it seemed all right. So I was like, okay, I could definitely use a second screen. And so this one here is the HKC G4 Plus. It's a 23.6 inch monitor, 1920 by 1080 display, 144 Hertz refresh rate. And it's got 4 milliseconds response time, so that's quite nice for gaming. And that's got a 1800R curvature. I didn't really know what the curvature was supposed to do. Supposedly it alleviates eye fatigue. I don't know, I can't really say I noticed that much of a difference. I mean, at first, you'll definitely notice it if you're used to a flat monitor, and then you look at one of these, like, okay, you could clearly tell that it's curved. It's got a different kind of impression. Not really better or worse in any way, at least as far as I'm concerned. That's highly subjective, of course. It's supposed to make movies and games more immersive. I don't think it's strongly curved enough for that. So if I turn around here, you can see a little better. It's got just a little bit of curvature. Like it's not dramatic by any means. And it's also a nice thin monitor. It's 14 millimeters. So the curvature is really subtle. I wouldn't really go by that if that's something you're looking for. I mean, I can see that it might help with eye fatigue because I remember experiencing that sometimes with my other monitor when I was staring at it for prolonged periods of time, that my eyes would get a little strained. I haven't had that with this one, so it may have something to do with it. It's also got AMD FreeSync technology, which, again, personally, I didn't notice that terribly much, but it's supposed to be a benefit. All right, looking at the back, this is what we've got. It's a nice sturdy stand. I wish it was height adjustable, but it's pretty well made overall. There you go. So here's the DP, DVI, and HDMI port. So it's nice to have this because it keeps dust at bay and keeps the cables in place. Of course, it's always a bit difficult to accurately show the quality of a screen when recording through a camera because it gets filtered through the camera and it's only going to be as good as the recording. And also, it's only as good as the cable. That's something that I didn't realize at first. When I first got it, I didn't really see any difference with regards to the refresh rate. It didn't look any smoother than the other screen. But then, you know, silly me didn't realize that an HDMI cable doesn't get you the full 144 Hertz. So if it doesn't look any different, then maybe you're using the wrong cable. But of course, you know, anybody who knows more about screens than I do probably already knows that. So either way, the image quality is quite good and it's definitely smoother. As soon as I got a DP cable, I immediately noticed how much smoother it is. And that's quite a nice upgrade. Good experience overall. I haven't had any issues with it. Reliability, of course, is always a big factor. I've had this for about half a year or so, maybe longer. And it's been working flawlessly during that time. So personally, I would recommend it, but of course you have to keep in mind, again, that I don't know much about monitors. I haven't had a whole lot of different ones, so I can't really compare too much. And yeah, this is not really what I would consider a review by my personal standards. Oh, by the way, one thing I want to point out is the way it comes, it's set to Korean, I think. So open up the menu here. At first it can be a little confusing. What is that? I mean, it's got symbols. So of course you can still understand that here. This bubble with the 3 dots. And then there's again the speech bubble here, which is, you know, obvious enough. And you can then switch to English. That's good to know. because then you can actually understand what the heck is going on here. You can turn on FreeSync and you can adjust, the obvious stuff, brightness, contrast, color temperature. And it's also got this interesting feature that I haven't seen on other monitors. Here are the different modes, by the way: standard, movie, FPS, RTS, and iSaber. And then you can also use this crosshair here. So apparently that's for games that don't have a crosshair. First-person shooters, so you can just put that in the middle of the screen. Not an essential feature by any means. I haven't used it so far, but kind of need to have just in case. So yeah, if you're interested in this monitor, I'll leave a link down below where you can get it. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good one.